Welcome to Business as a Magical Practice, where your business is the vehicle for your self-integration and soul evolution. My name is Sam Garcia, and I'm the founder of Dirty Alchemy Digital Marketing. And I'll be guiding you through how you can use your business as a spiritual practice and what magical businesses are doing to hit their goals and change the world. Together, we'll be relating the mystical to the world of business so that our work can unite spirit and matter, shadow and light, conscious and unconscious. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I am really excited to welcome to the Business as a Magical Practice podcast, Amy Heneveld of Enosburg Essences. If you do not know her, Amy is a creative coach, writer, singer, and teacher. She teaches creative expression and land connection and offers cosmic guidance with flower essences, tarot, astrology, magic, and ritual. Welcome to the podcast, Amy.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, Sam.
Yeah. So first of all, flower essences and creativity. I've never seen anyone else do a type of coaching practice that is around creativity and linking in flower essences. Can you tell us what flowers have to do with creativity?
Yeah, the inspiration came to me, I think maybe about a month into making flower essence, working with flower essences in my business. I just started to see that I wanted to be more than a flower essence practitioner, and that the ways that the flower essences had opened me up to starting my business and to being more creative and expressing that creativity would be really amazing things to share with people. So I started to think about coaching around that. And it makes sense with flowers. So flowers are the highest expression of a plant, and they're really like the moment of blooming is the moment when the plant is starting to get to express itself in all its creativity. And when you notice flowers, that's what you notice, right? Their color, their beauty, and they're just being themselves and shining in this beautiful way that's, I think, related to cosmic energy. So there are some esoteric theories about flowers being the cosmic energy of the universe expressed on Earth, and that really spoke to me too. So it just all made sense as a kind of package of what the flowers could offer people in terms of how to be more creative, be more in line with their true selves, and create from that place, and be more in flow and feel more connected.
That's so beautiful. I actually haven't heard the cosmic element of it, so I might need to ask you some questions about that. But one thing that always struck me about flowers, or the big metaphor I've found with flowers, is because my husband does a lot of farming, and so he does a ton of growing, and there are different plants that you have to pick the fruit or you have to pick the flowers in order to help the signal to the plant to put out more flowers or to put out more fruit. And I always thought that was such a great metaphor to different ideas or different, especially like I consider myself a writer, and when I start writing more and posting more and all of that, it feels like I'm picking flowers so that it's causing my brain to create more flowers. Have you found that?
I know what you mean. I love roses for that. The way that roses are really asking to be pruned, or other bushes too that want to be kind of limited to be more productive or to be more creative. So I really see that parallel. And I found that for myself too, just the way you can use limits when you're writing in a writing practice, or you can decide to prune certain things or throw out certain things you've done or written, and that will make room for more beauty and more creativity. That really works. That metaphor works for that too. Yeah.
So what is this cosmic connection between flowers and the cosmos? Is it like a planetary correspondence type thing?
Yeah, well, similar, but so Steiner, and I think Goethe before him, so kind of esoteric plant teachings, okay. Anthroposophic philosophy, talked about this plant energy. And if you think about it, plants are sort of strange, right? We go around in our mammal bodies, and there are these things all around us that are living on the earth that were here before us, that we're actually descended from. And it's like, where did they come from? How did they get here? And they're growing in certain ways, and there's a lot of diversity, and some have flowers, some don't. Not to even touch the whole fungi, that whole strangeness. There's real worlds of like, what what's going on this earth, if we step back, we can start to see. And I think that's where some of these theories come from, of trying to understand plant energy on the earth and what it's expressing and what it's helping us with too. I think that's always a part of these theories too, is that how they, we're also ingesting them, digesting them. They're a part of our bodies. And they're really linking us to a higher intelligence and this sort of cosmic energy that we're all a part of, that we might want to call, some people would call it God or goddess or creation. I like to call it the universe.
Yeah, me too.
But there's this other intelligence out there that the plants sort of help us access and are the expression of. And I think the way a lot of flowers look like stars, that's really interesting too. You might have noticed, like borage, or they're very star shaped in the way they're formed. I see that also as a reflection with the stars and the planets.
Well, it's interesting what you were just saying about, because we have these legs that can walk around. Again, as a marketer, I'm thinking about, okay, so many people, what they want from their business is to just be where they are and attract. And it seems that that's essentially what flowers have evolved to do, because they don't have legs like we do. They just have to be where they are and attract things to them in their various ways. So it seems like through learning from flowers, we can actually aid attraction marketing principles.
Definitely. And that's something I've thought a lot about in terms of love too. The way, I think I learned from the flowers that in order to attract somebody I loved, I didn't need to do anything. I didn't need to try to seduce them, or I just needed to sort of shine authentically, and then the love would be attracted like a bee. I did a series of posts actually around that idea of like attracting things like bees. And I think in the same way, you can take that as a business principle. And
well, it's kind of interesting because bees have always been associated with money and wealth too, right?
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah. So sorry, all the metaphors here today are rich.
Yeah. Yes, and plants, they do that, and then you kind of get caught up in this, like everything becomes a plant metaphor. It's beautiful. I like it.
I love that. So I would really love to hear your story of how plants changed your life, because that's like a headline on your website of how plants change your life, and it's really juicy. So I want to hear that story.
Yeah. So the way I start to think about it, well, there are different steps in it, but one part that really stands out for me is when I contracted Lyme's disease. So this was 2011. So a while before I started consciously communicating with plants. But at the time, I had what's considered a very advanced Lyme symptom of a swollen joint. And I was living in Geneva at the time, Switzerland, and couldn't really find any explanation for it at first. So went to the doctors and they told me, well, this is Lyme. And not only is this is Lyme from America. And I knew exactly where it was I'd contracted it. It's the land I now live on. And I had this vision a ways into my illness of when I think I got bitten. And I remember I was taking a walk through the grass in shorts and bare feet, which of course now I never do, in an area where I knew the deer came. And I think that's where I got the bite from the tick. So I got this sort of land illness from the deer, I felt like, from the land, and the way I decided to treat it. So I did the traditional antibiotic therapies that were recommended. And I also said, well, I want to look at what the plant remedies are. So I was enough in touch with plants at that point that I knew I wanted to do something about it. And the two remedies I found were garlic and echinacea. And I took those for 3 months, ate tons of garlic, like 3 to 6 cloves a day. And that's when I felt that's what I feel like really healed me, was this sort of reaching towards the plants for healing for a sickness that was given to me by the land. And then as I worked through the process of Lyme, I also did a lot of body work and understanding what it was doing for me in my body, what was allowing me to express that, the kind of looking for the gift of the illness. And I think one of the gifts Lyme gave me was this starting to work with the plants. And let's see, was there another element of that? There are other elements where I also had a very powerful meditation where the deer actually came to me and told me that it was a gift and that it was for protection, which seems very strange. But now I understand. It was like all of these synchronicities and sort of messages from the universe started coming to me. And it was almost through contracting Lyme disease. So it was very strange, but very kind of mind-opening in terms of my body and healing and how to work with the earth. And then a few years later, I read a book on talking to trees. That was probably 2014. And I was like, oh, this is something I've always done.
What was the book?
And then I started, it was a book in French.
I forget. You have a PhD in French something.
Yeah, it was called like Parler aux arbres, or it was like talk to trees. I bought it at the post office in Switzerland. In the post office, they have all these books that you can buy, and I bought it there, strangely enough. And that was my real entry into plant communication.
Yeah.
And then I did a course on flower essences with Asia Suller, of One Willow Apothecary. And that's when I started making the flower essences. That's when I really started getting these intense downloads that made me want to start my business, because I was like, well, I can't just keep this to myself. This is information and wisdom that I need to share.
So do you focus on all plant communication, or are you solely focused on flowers? Or majority really flowers?
I'm primarily focused on flowers right now. I think because I am interested in bringing flower essence healing to people. Sometimes when I do plant meditations with clients, we will get in touch with a fern or a tree. That's not uncommon. So I would say I'm open to all. My main focus, and I think maybe because it has so much to do with creativity and encouraging creative expression, is around flowers. Plus, they're just so beautiful. I want to draw them and spend time with them.
So, okay, you were talking about flower essences, plant communication, and meditations with plants. Do all of those go into the creativity coaching process where you're doing all of them? It's not just a focus on flower essences and consuming flower essences?
Yeah, they do for me. So typically in a session with a client, I'll do a plant meditation. Sometimes that might involve, being guided towards an essence that they could take or work with, but not necessarily. A lot of the times the client will really form their own connection to the plant, and then that's something they can work with in their process. And I foster that, I kind of help that.
Mm-hmm. So is this something that anyone can do at home? For people listening, like if they're like, they go outside on a hike, or they go in their backyard and they're attracted to a certain plant or a flower, they can go and start a relationship?
You can totally do it with any plant. You can also do it with plants that aren't there physically. Oh, really? This is what's so amazing about plant spirit healing, is that actually it's accessible all the time from anywhere. So obviously I don't start, talking about that with clients. That's sort of like another level of pushes things to another level immediately. So I start with plants that either the person has a history with, a memory of, or a present relationship to. So maybe a plant that they have in the house or in their garden that they're interested in connecting to. Usually our plant allies are quite present in our lives and have been for quite a while. So they're usually, people aren't surprised by the plant that'll show up for them.
Well, I would think so, because I forget what, I'm sure a bunch of different people and philosophers and whatever talk about this, and so I can't remember where I'm pulling this from, but the idea that what's needed grows around us, and so consuming herbs and medicines from what is like growing around us in season will be naturally supportive of our bodies. It seems like, so maybe if we're attracted to go somewhere or we're attracted to certain things, it's like a way of our bodies or our spirits communicating with us for what we need. Do you find that's true?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely true. On lots of levels. So I think that's true healing wise too. Speaking of Lyme again, I find it so interesting that now one of the most common remedies for Lyme is actually Japanese knotweed, which is an invasive all over the East Coast, and everybody wants to get rid of. It's actually the medicine for this Lyme's disease, which is also exploding. So I think there's often those parallels. And like, I know I was just thinking about this today. I had a tomato from my garden and I just had this feeling of like, this is the right kind of food for me to be eating. I grew this right next to my house. I put my fingers in the soil. It just felt very connected and right to be eating that. And then with flowers, I think the ones that speak to us are the ones nearby. Unless it's, as I said, it could be something from our childhood or from a memory that comes up.
Yeah. So I have a story that I think you'll appreciate. I'm not sure if it's like okay to share on the podcast actually, so maybe look up this out. So we have this we're in an apartment near my husband's farm, and we have this like tiny little backyard that he's like, with his green witchery, completely has everything in bloom. It's all green now. It was all concrete. Now it's covered in wood chips and all the things. And a few months ago, he was like, I want to have all of your menstrual blood go into the garden back there. And it was something we were doing before at a different place, but like it's been hard with composting here and blah, blah, blah. So we just started doing it. And he was like, okay, please come look at the stalk of this squash plant. Cause he's not someone who pulls out plants ever. He'll let like a broccoli, and we're in a warm environment, so things don't die off in the winter. He'll just like let plants grow for years that people think are perennial, but like he'll have a broccoli plant that has been growing for 5 years, like stuff like that.
I love that.
But he's like this squash plant that's been growing for a couple months, and the stem is literally this big, and he's like, this is your menstrual blood. This is all the nitrogen that's in here. And it looks like almost alien how thick the stem is.
What an amazing story. That actually was another important step on my plant journey, was when I started offering my blood to the land. So yeah.
What did it unlock for you?
That's a good question. I want to answer it kind of deeply. I think it just solidified my sense of connection and this idea that our bodies are the earth, that we're not at all separate. I feel like we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
And that, we are the earth in a very concrete way. And also I used it. So in my plant meditations, when I learned how to make flower essences, one of the most important things you do is make an offering to the plant, and actually making that offering as a way of establishing that first contact where they're open to helping you, answering your questions. and feeling your gratitude and receiving from you. So using a part of my own body for that was very powerful. I have a friend here who I've coached in her garden. She plucks a hair and does the same thing. So I think it's this very powerful way of almost proclaiming or claiming your connection, your belonging. Yeah, your belonging to the earth.
Did you ever read the Anastasia Ringing Cedars series?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's like this one of those, is this fiction, nonfiction thing of this woman who grew up in completely in nature in Siberia, and it's really, I read it like earlier on in my like jumping into the spiritual movement. It's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable read. But one of the things she talks about is the importance of moistening a seed in your mouth with your own spit before you plant it, with the idea that you're exchanging your DNA, you're nourishing your DNA into the seed so that it grows with your own needs in mind, or like in relationship with you. And so maybe the menstrual
I love that
air is like also a part of that. If you're composting with your own like biological material, it's actually in communication, and it can better support your needs.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
We've gone down an interesting tangent. I love it. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, getting us back on track, I think this is a super interesting tangent, but so what are your 3 favorite flower essences, or maybe plants, to communicate with for business owners to expand their business, or just support them in business?
So I think any plant that's going to help you express yourself is good. And that does go along with flowers in general. Most of them are helping you in that kind of expansive or putting yourself out there way. One that just came to mind is Self-Heal. It's a flower essence I make, which is generally good for healing your ability to express yourself with your voice. It works with your throat center. It's a small purple flower, and it teaches you to express your needs and desires. I think that's very important for business owners to be able to do. I'm working on that kind of intensely myself at the moment.
Yeah, we all are. All the time.
And then other flowers that really help me are yellow flowers. So, my first plant ally actually was the dandelion. And I think dandelion really helped me have the strength to want to start my own business and to say, this is something I can do. And it's a very, it's a plant with so much nutrition, and it's expansive. It really helps us grow in that way and shine our light. So dandelion would be definitely a good one. And then the other one I thought of was a plant called Star of Bethlehem, which I used a lot in the first stages of my business too. It's one that for me is aligned with the Virgin Mary, and especially for women, instills us with the belief in our own divinity and our capacity to channel that divine spirit and energy, and just believe in ourselves. That was a really strong one for me, for saying, I am my divine. Sometimes the flowers, the essences give me, or usually they give me a little poem or kind of a mantra. And that was the one for Star of Bethlehem, was I am my divine. And that's one that a lot of I think that's in the original Bach flower essence remedy line, Star of Bethlehem. It's one that's been worked with quite a bit as an essence, and is a beautiful one.
Are there any flower essences that help with time, like in managing time, or just juggling a bunch of things?
Funnily enough, the herb thyme came to me with that message. It was so funny. I remember when I made it, I thought, because sometimes they'll have a sense of like what the meaning or message is going to be before I make it. And with time, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if it was all about time?
Oh my gosh.
And I made it, and then I did the meditation, and I was like, oh, it is going to be all about time. And time did really help me. Yeah, just with feeling like I have enough time. I am in control of my time. Feel patient with myself around time and not feel pressed or hurried or under pressure. That is a good one. Yeah.
I want that one. Always.
I should send you some.
No.
Actually, I think it would really suit you.
Yeah. It seems like a Virgo plant.
Yeah.
Wait, you've made zodiac lines of flower essences, haven't you? I feel like I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, so this is something I've started to work with more with planets, planetary alignment.
Okay.
So, trying to think of a good example. I've just made some blends which aren't available yet, which were for specific planetary alignments in 2021. Hopefully they'll come out before the end of the year, but they should, with a company called Roots.
Okay.
Based in Vermont, and who are going to sell it and make it available more broadly. I made a special blends for that company. And one of them was like for the Saturn Pluto
conjunction
alignment.
Yeah.
No, it was a Saturn Uranus square was the one. Saturn Pluto I worked with. So sometimes that was dark hollyhock. So sometimes I'll have a feeling like from a certain aspect, and I'll be attracted to a plant to work with for a flower essence. And then I realized at some point that there was a match between the two. So I'd be feeling a certain transit and being called by a plant. And I was like, oh, hey, wait, maybe this plant, the flower, is a response to the transit. So I started having those experiences, and I made one for a Saturn Pluto conjunction, and I made a blend, which is with more than one, for the Saturn square Uranus this year. Also, I made a Mercury retrograde one, which
I was about to ask. I was like, she's got to have a Mercury retrograde one.
Yeah.
What is that?
That was also a blend. So I guess there's two ways I'm working with what's happening astrologically. One is certain plants will call to me at certain times, and I'll realize it's a good answer to that kind of whatever pressure that transit's putting on people. And then the other one is that I'm still exploring, really, are doing these blends for certain aspects.
That's cool.
But yeah, the star flower connection definitely came through for me there too.
Yeah.
That there was this very strong connection between how the messages the flowers are giving us and the cosmic energies or happenings.
So would it be a connection to a certain star, or is it something a little less tangible than that for the cosmic connection between flowers? And
so mostly what I get are for transits.
Mm-hmm. Well, no.
Of course, there is.
Sorry, I'm like.
No, go ahead.
Going back to the beginning of our conversation, where you were saying that there's a cosmic connection between flowers and beyond the universe. Is it flowers connected to certain stars, or is it just something a little less tangible?
For me, it's less tangible. Mm-hmm. So the stars express, I'll try to say this in a way that makes sense. The stars express a cosmic truth in the sky. Uh-huh. And the flowers express that same cosmic truth on the earth.
Okay. What's an example?
Well, let me take this. I made an essence with dark hollyhock, which is in my shadow essence line. And at the time, I was feeling really constrained by the Pluto. I think it was a Pluto. I'd have to look at my notes. I think it was Pluto-Saturn conjunction. It was that conjunction when they were together for a long time, and they kept coming and coming.
Kept on coming
It
and
was,
going,
yeah.
that's over,
Um,
right?
It's over. Thank God. Yay. And so at that time, I really felt like what this dark hollyhock was saying to me was offering me answers to the problem posed by that transit. So not necessarily that the transit was a problem. I don't want to say the transit was a problem. It was like the transit was activating something that was making me feel something that the flower was saying, this is how you can approach it.
So each flower doesn't necessarily have a specific message, or they do?
Each flower does. And I would say, so there's also the difference in plant spirits with, so there's a spirit, there's a spirit of that type of flower, right? So take dark hollyhock. The hollyhock flower essence I made is going to have certain aspects of it that you would probably, if I did another hollyhock essence, I'd probably get similar themes. But the way I was working with that specific hollyhock plant at that time, that color, gave me a specific message.
Got it.
Yeah.
I haven't worked much with flowers, so these are like genuine, I have no idea what I'm talking about questions.
No, it's great. And it's actually great because I've never been asked these questions. So it's really stretching me to find words for how to talk about it. Great.
Well, it speaks a lot about you being so in the groove of your craft that you don't have to explain it to people because you're just in creation mode so much. I'm just in it, but it's great because one of the first things I started calling myself when I started making these flower essences was a plant translator, because I've translated a lot. I'm bilingual in French and English, and I've written in French and gone back and forth there. So I started to say, well, I'm not translating French anymore. I'm translating for the flowers now. I do feel like that. It's like, yeah. It's like I've got this plant language over here, and I have to bring it in. Does it actually feel like translation between languages to you?
It actually feels like translation between languages, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
I'm lucky. I do get so most of my downloads from the plants are I do get words in English. Yeah. That's an easier way to get a download. But for some of these concepts that we're talking about now are very hard to put words to, and I haven't tried very much.
Is that like your own specific flavor of psychic intuition? You know how like some people are like, they just know, some people they hear words, some people they see things, some people they feel things, or is it, do flowers express in words often for people?
That's a good question. So I've for a while known that I'm clairaudient. So I don't just hear plants speak, I hear spirits, I hear other things, animals. I get the words, I hear it. So that I knew before I started communicating with plants. And I do think everybody's a little different. Like some clients that I'll work with, they'll get more of a feeling or more of an image, or even a smell. They'll get other bodily sensations that they're more sensitive to.
Okay.
And I think that does vary. But I do think we are all capable of being in intuitive resonance with plants.
Yeah. I've always been jealous of people that are clairaudient. I'm like, that's such a cool one. Like, I'm definitely one who like, I just know, like, it's just, I know things, or like when I'm writing and it's just like, we'll channel writing, but I always thought that the audient one. So I was kind of asking for like, oh, if I work with flowers.
It's a little creepy at first. I mean, I remember the first few times I realized it was happening, it was a little scary. I guess it's like all gifts, you know, sometimes you're like, this is great. And sometimes you're like, I
know. It's like but
I don't know how the flowers might speak to you more in that more direct, intuitive way.
I know, I'm super inspired by this conversation to work with a bunch of flowers and get some flower essences. Well, it's interesting when you become sensitive in any ways. It's the blessing and the curse of it. There's so many blessings and such a richer life you get from it, but there's also always the um, can you put stuff back into Pandora's box? Like, did I really want this? And then you can't go back.
Definitely. Yeah, it's gotten a lot easier for me to talk about how I talk to plants, luckily. But at first it was like, really? This is what I'm gonna start doing.
How's
Saying to
it with
people.
people like for where you live? Is it would be a normal thing to talk about where you live, or is it you just the people you attract? They're like, oh yeah, it makes sense that you speak to plants. And please speak to you.
People are differently open to it, like I know a lot of farmers who have an intuitive connection that they wouldn't describe as plant communication, but
Mhm.
is as far as I'm concerned. Then a surprising number of people talk to their house plants.
Yeah.
The first sort of lecture I gave or presentation I gave of my work locally, I asked that question. I said, so who talks to their houseplants? And more than half the people raised their hand.
Yeah.
So I think that started to make me feel better, like, oh, this is something that a lot of us feel and do. We don't talk about it because it makes you do sound a little kooky. So, but then the more I do it, the more normal it's become. And I think now now I'm not really shocking anybody by saying that. I think sometimes people are surprised by how literal I mean it,
Mhm.
like I'm actually talking to the plant.
Mhm.
But people will take what they can and what they want and what will help them. So that's what's important to me.
When you were attracting your fiance, did you tell him after the fact that it was because you were you were talking to flowers?
I don't remember when that came up. He's pretty open to it. He does a lot of shamanic work and
Okay.
has his own conversations with magical beings and things like that. So that was a good fit there. I don't remember it being weird.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it made sense to him.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Okay, so this podcast is called Business as a Magical Practice, where we don't only use our magical and spiritual practices to boost our business, but we also use our business as a tool for soul evolution. Can you tell us how you use your business for your spiritual development?
Wow. Well, I was an academic. I was an anti-capitalist academic. I was like the furthest thing from an entrepreneur you could ever be when the flowers came to me with this idea.
Mhm.
So I had to do a lot, and I'm still doing it, a lot of evolution to be able to present this vision to the world. I think what I love about my business is how it keeps pushing me to grow in exactly the ways I need to grow, to be all the things that the flowers want me to be more open, to be more expressive, to be brighter, to make more of a mark on the world. Um, and I think that's actually really driven by a deep desire to help humanity survive on the planet. I really feel like if I kept this all to myself, I wouldn't be doing my part in helping us become more earth connected and change the way we live so that we're respecting the earth and doing what we need to do to keep our relationship flowering. I mean, early on, I did know that the earth would be fine. I got this download from the plants. The earth is going to be fine if we're not here. Like, it's not about actually the earth surviving or not, because the earth has its own, she's amazing, she's going to do what she's going to do. But what the urgency that I picked up on for being more visible and having a business, and everything that goes along with that, was just had to have more of an impact and to be able to help our relationship with the earth last and be more, I keep using flower and fruit metaphors, be more fruitful.
Yeah. So from your writing and another herbalist's writing, I've gotten the sense that the flowers have a soft spot for humans. Would you say that's true?
Definitely. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because of how expressive we can be.
Oh.
Like the plants, they can't move.
Mm-hmm.
And well, they can, but it takes longer.
Yeah.
They can't individually move. And they can't express themselves in all the ways we can. I think plants and humans have developed together in a beautiful way that the flowers know that they couldn't be developing themselves in that way. I was just looking at an old gardening magazine, and all the cultivars, even if you're just thinking of it from a purely, gardening technique approach, like what we're doing for flowers is amazing. It helps them be more expressive and expand into their possibility of what they could be. And I think the same thing goes for how plants and flowers help us. And maybe that's the soft spot. It's that kind of interconnectedness where we know we're helping each other, really.
And do you feel like flowers are not anti-capitalist? I'm pulling from you said earlier that before working with flowers, you were on like this anti-capitalist academic bent. So sounds like have they taken you away from that?
They haven't. I think what they've taught me is just like work with what's there, right? So, I mean, me as an academic going against the system, I wasn't gonna do any. I mean, what do you do? What change do you make doing that? Who reads you? Like who cares what you're doing in your ivory tower? And I think the flowers helped me see that if I want to change the system, I can only do it from within it. And I can only do it as being a part of the dialogue and as being present. Mm-hmm. There's this whole question of presence and sort of material presence in flowers. They teach you that too, be there and shine.
Yeah. Maybe you should have gone the fungi route if you wanted to take down the system versus the blossoming, shining route.
You're probably right. There's some amazing work going on with what people are doing with fungi, though.
Really? Is it the same? Just a quick question for that. Is it the same sort of route of plant or fungi communication with it? Yeah.
Yeah. People are really doing amazing things, understanding and connecting to fungi as a species and as a kind of mind-blowing creature on our planet. And people are making essences too. I haven't tried them, but
interesting.
I think mushroom essences are a thing.
Yeah, I've seen tinctures, if that's kind of the same thing. I don't think that's the same thing, actually.
It's not actually, but
okay. Well,
yeah, essence is a vibrational remedy, so it doesn't have any of the actual plant material in it. It has a kind of imprint of the spiritual vibrational energy of the plant.
There's a person on Maui that does fern essences because he's Hawaiian, and his auntie taught him of like there's this whole Hawaiian tradition around all the tons and tons of different types of ferns that were from here, and its connection to different spiritual evolution. So
beautiful.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a link to some of his writing. It's very poetic. So, but it seems different than the flowers. Anyways, my final question that I love to ask is, what have been your favorite purchases recently or in the last while for business and for pleasure?
For business, I bought a printer. That was an important step.
I actually love having a printer, so I understand that can be a favorite purchase.
Yeah, and I can make stickers now. I'm moving towards being able to make more professional looking labels as well. So that was all a big step. I have a lot of blocks around packaging and mailing, and so I'm kind of working on that. And I think the printer was definitely a step towards simplifying that. And personally, I just found this beautiful company in France called Voriag, Voriagh, and I'm sort of looking for a wedding dress that I want to be probably not traditional and sort of beautifully made and with respect of the earth and the packaging and the making. And it's this beautiful company run by two women who are making kind of old-fashioned, or I would maybe more folkloric type clothing. And I just bought a dress, which is sitting right by me, actually waiting for me to open the package.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
So that's very exciting, and it's green. I decided I didn't want a white dress, so it's a green linen dress with handmade lace in it.
Wow. Okay, you're gonna have to send pictures.
Yeah.
You look worried.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Amy. This was so fun. I learned so much.
It went places I didn't think it would go. It was wonderful.
Same with me.
Question.
Do you have any final message for everyone listening?
Just keep listening to the flowers, however you can, and see what they're reaching out to you about.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.